Today's job is simple in some ways and won't take long, but nonetheless very important. I think so. There's a lot of consensus, particularly from this year, that people need to have machine learning in their toolkit. Now, there's a lot of inertia in just starting learning something completely new. So all we're going to do is just install and launch the program for machine learning. We're not going to do anything else now. That's simple, but it's the first. It's just making that first step is nonetheless quite critical. So let's try and install TensorFlow, which is probably the most widely used machine learning framework at the moment. So I'll just give a few notes on TensorFlow. So go to the GitHub page. This is the official site, and you'll see the installation instructions here. Relatively simple. So it runs under Python. I think we should just this is the main implementation. Now, so for example, there is some people try and do this in Perl, and I use Perl, but I'm still going to try and learn the proper Python set of tools. So install, make sure you have the development version of Python installed, cd, and then go to make a new directory, tensor, at your home directory. Then this is for making a virtual environment. What that's for is like some complicated frameworks to make some sort of configuration changes, so you don't want to interfere with other systems you might have on your computer. So it uses this environment. So this is how you initiate an environment with you activate like this. So you'll have a specific tensor environment, and then pip install to install TensorFlow. It can be slow. I think it took a couple of hours. So there's a lot, several GB to download. And a few other things you'll soon need to install when you try using TensorFlow for plotting the variables and plotting the models. Here's 3, and know that there'll be more of these. Okay, so but the installation on Ubuntu should be not too difficult. Now, when it's installing and using TensorFlow, you will get some what look like error messages, but it's a lot of the TensorFlow error messages, you can ignore them. These are to do with configuration of your CPU, so CPU and GPU. So when you start using more powerful models, ideally these are using GPU, but for learning you can use CPUs as standard, but it will complain about the configuration. Anyway, the install is not too difficult to run. You need to get familiar with moving in and out of the virtual environment, which is so you need to go into create this tensor directory, and you can see here it's gone into this tensor environment you've created during the installation process. Then open Python and import TensorFlow here. So you can see these error messages about the configuration, but it's still fine to run. One command you might want to know: print the TensorFlow version, and you'll see it's version 2. Now, particularly version 1 and version 2 is some major differences. So if you Google for some TensorFlow tutorials, now you will get various version 1 tutorials, and you'll copy the commands in, and these won't work. Now, TensorFlow version 2 is apparently a major change and a major development from the first one, so you will need to be using version 2, but that means specifically when you're looking for tutorials, you'll need a version 2 tutorials. So by default, just go via the official GitHub page and perhaps go from there. But I'm not going to do anything more. Just come out of Python, just quit. Then come out of the tensor environment, and that's it. So we've run. So TensorFlow installed. Go into Python and just load the TensorFlow library and come back out. And that's all I'm going to cover today. And I would suggest that shouldn't take too long, but very important to get this first stage for this important toolkit, which no doubt will become a central tool in all aspects of science, including phylogenetics, but it remains to be seen what will be possible. I'm sure it will be quite exciting. Okay, job done.